Well. Hello everyone. How's it going? Uh, it is. Which day of the week is it? It's Wednesday, right? My brain is still working, right? It's Wednesday. Um. Uh. Anyways. Yeah. How's it going? Yo Zanon, yo Hexen. How's it going? I am tired. That's yeah. That's the tweet. Um. It's been a day. It's not even a long day or anything. It's just I don't know. I didn't sleep well. I didn't. Speaking of, um, I didn't sleep well today. I didn't sleep that well yesterday either because they were drilling an apartment above, which now I know is because people are moving in. So it was a bit noisy, and that's been a bit draining. But I'm still alive, and you know what? I take it. Um, yeah. I don't have any plan for today. I'ma be real. I should probably finally catch up on Legend CA again because I've been neglecting that for a little bit, but oh well. I will survive. Um yeah, otherwise it's just I don't have a lot of juice today, which is fine. I need to keep all my juice for tomorrow because tomorrow I have stuff to do. Uh, Unspecified stuff that I won't get into right now. I might give more information if it's working out. Mainly because it might affect my stream schedule or my lack thereof. Anyways, plan for today is doing something game dev. I don't know. I kind of was inspired by the discussion in uh, the game dev channel in the void, but also I just in general have game dev stuff I want to work on. So yeah, yeah, that's it. Yes, it's all Z's fault. No, I actually was thinking of doing game dev before Z started the discussion. That just kind of cemented, yeah, I'd rather do that. So, I should open a spread. I mean, I don't know, actually. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I haven't thought this through very much. So, I don't know. There's some stuff I could be working on in terms of game dev. I want to kind of port a lot of code I've written into like a template, which wouldn't be the most interesting stream, but I might as well do it. I've been working more on the Sonic sprite. I've been doing not a lot, but a little bit, which I can show for now. I've been working more on the board animation mainly, and I've been thinking I should probably do different perspectives of the character, like of classic Sonic. Um, but I also I've been working on a 2D platformer template more or less since I've been working on a 2D platformer project, which is kind of secret, so I'm probably not showing it on stream, but I might be porting some of the code over. Um, so that might be fun. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I've just kind of been thinking. Um, brain elite. How's the audio, by the way? Am I audible? Is the music too loud, too quiet? Am I too quiet? Am I too loud? Am I uh I don't know. Just okay. But yeah, I still need to do the running animation for Sonic, but I've been kind of struggling with that, so I probably won't do that now. I want to figure out some stuff I wanted to do for the... That's part of the reason why I wanted to do the 2D template. In case I do actually want to do a game with this, I might... Like, the 2D platformer template might be helpful. But yeah, that's just one of the many things on my list. But let me open Godot either way. I can show you some of the parts I have for the template. It's not up to date, like I need to change some things, but I'm glad that I have this button. So what I've been mostly working on is porting a lot of these scripts. I don't have a lot of the scenes, like I technically have a game scene, technically. Why are you... Oh, you're off pixel, off center because I put you there. But yeah, what this is using is a shader system, which is from a video by Barry Steffel, which Z actually posted on the Game Dev channel a while ago. Which is basically just readjusting the camera position for pixel perfect games. It's complicated. But it basically just makes it so the camera can move smooth even when the game is pixel perfect. And that's basically all I set up, except basic player character code like speed, jump velocity, all that stuff. I mean, some other stuff that I usually have, like my usual state machine, which I use. I should find out which tutorial I used for that. I would like to also credit that, since I like crediting code if I use code from something else. You know, is kind of polite doing it. But I mean, I've dropped a few frames, but not a lot. I might have dropped frames for a second. In which case, oh no, but I hope we're back at least. But yeah, currently this is not very visual because there's not... I haven't done any of the scenes or anything because a lot of it is just porting over code, which is kind of boring, but also something that needs to be done. Yeah, that seems too much about the dropped frames. I dropped like 600 frames for a little bit, which isn't a lot, but still can be noticeable. Hopefully this doesn't show. If not, then oh well. But I'm actually just mostly copying from my secret project. Well, not my secret project. Not just my secret project. Let's say it this way. But yeah, what I've basically just been doing for the last few days is port over code from one project to another, which isn't particularly interesting, and we're probably mostly using this as a backdrop to talk about other stuff. Like the camera stuff Z has been talking about, like 3D cameras are weird. Just in general. Like 2D cameras are already weird, but they are 2D, so what can you do? But in 3D cameras it's kind of extra weird. Okay, first change. I want to move the gravity from the entity, because frankly the gravity should just be a global thing. And luckily we have a global script. Yeah, we'll take care of that for a minute, don't worry about the warning. Global. Before or after? Did I put it before or after? Before. Spawn. Not that it really matters, but you know. The project or the game's gravity takes the gravity from the project settings. It's just so the gravity is consistent in the project. Yes. Godot, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll fix it. And then we just, instead of gravity, use global.gravity, which effectively is the same value, but just moved, right? Where are you complaining about it? Line 2? Just line 2? Oh, because it's inheriting entity, yes. That should be fine. I mean, not that it really matters, because there's nothing in the scene, so it doesn't really... let me just go through every single script to see if it complains. That's always a good strategy. It's fine, don't worry about it. Yeah, not player.gravity, global.gravity. Because player doesn't have a gravity anymore. Although I might actually change that later, but one thing at a time. And the state machine shouldn't care about it, partially because I haven't set up anything for the state machine. Okay. The camera should mostly be correct. I think it's the most up-to-date thing, like up-to-date version of the camera, but just in case. Because I have actually cleaned the script up just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. A lot of this is just adding and removing things that I don't need anymore. The player should still be accurate, because I haven't done much with the player. Entity... should still be the same in both projects. I mean, mostly the same. It's there are some changes. But yeah, a lot of this is just comparing back and forth with the other project, which I can't show because it's secret, unfortunately. But that's fine because we can set up some of the things we need here. 2D scene. Player. Root type. Can I make it a player? That would be... No? Fine. Change type. Player. I can just do that. But it does need a few things. First it needs... Collision shape 2D, yeah. A collision shape 2D. So we know how big the player is. That isn't actually super relevant for our project, because This is just a demo, so it's just gonna be a square. Sure, 20 by 20 pixels. I don't care. Next child. Sprite 2D. It's gonna be the icon. But like, let's just how big is this sprite by default? 128 by 128. That's 0.156625. And then just put it here. Now this will not look like this when we are done here, but that's fine. Hydrate, I can hydrate. I should probably hydrate because my voice is already cracking. Thank you. Also, hi Casey, how's it going? So this is not super important actually. Like again, this sprite is just whatever. It's just so we have a sprite. The game is getting the player as a child. That should be so in theory we now have a functioning game. I say functioning very loosely because that's all that's happening. Debugger. What issues do we have? A lot. You are just collision 2D because I like my sprite names being short. You're getting a player camera. Which is... I'm sorry, I can't stream later. It's already 7 PM. I mean, technically I could stream later, but... you know. State... just a label. I'm just calling it state label. That's just so the state, like, I can see what state the... where do I start? It's easier to list the similarities, to be honest. Like, the difference between Godot and RPG Maker 2003 is that this is a game engine with, like, things. I know, I was just joking. Yeah, I get it. Hope work is treating you well, or at least not terrible. I know work is kind of mean. Good. You said that now, Zen, and I didn't. I I say nothing. What am I still missing? State machine and an animation player. Add child node, animation player, anim player. Not that it matters because we don't have any animation. Let's try this again. Not that it matters because we don't have any animations. Better. Still not as good as I wanted, but oh well. But yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's just put that here. Now we're just missing a state machine, which needs a state. State machine. Add child node, which state? Excuse me? Oh, I can't. I need to do something that extends state because state is abstract now. Pretty sure I can. Yeah. Because something I changed a while ago is that state is now an abstract class, which means I can't have a state. Like, a state on its own cannot exist. It needs a child node of, or not child node, something that inherits state. Something that is a state but isn't just a state, if you get what I mean. Like, idle or like an idle state or just any state that isn't just an empty state. I'm explaining this badly, but it doesn't matter. Extends state. Player slash. I need to make a new folder. States. Not here. In script. Scripts. Entities, player, new folder, states, idle. And yeah, I get it, Godot. I know how this works. Because these two functions are abstract, I do need to implement them. Like, they need an implementation because state itself doesn't give us an implementation. So it doesn't know what to do with these functions. Oh, yeah. Oh, always fun when nobody knows what to do, yeah. Yeah. Math being incorrect is always a concern. Especially depending on what... Yes, or it could be rounding errors. Depends on what kind of values the math is using. Floats, looking at you. Good old floating point values. We all love floating point values, right? I feel like nobody here knows what floating point values are, but it's okay. Um, or maybe you do know what. Actually, I always under/overestimate who knows what. But floating point values are these values. Um, they are funny. The way they're implemented is basically they're decimal numbers, but the way they're implemented is funny. They're implemented in a way that makes them very fast, but they get inaccurate after a while, which... Yeah, I'm not... Excel is also not my... Yeah, I'm not good with Excel. So, you know. What is it? Oh, you're complaining that I'm not using Delta. That's fine. On enter. Entity. It's entity. Entity.velocity.x equals 0. That just makes it when we enter the idle state, we just stop. I can probably just copy the actual idle state that I already have implemented, to be fair, but I'm a bit more careful with the states, because the states are very dependent on what I want to do in the game, right? But in theory, this would just be a more complete version of the state. Except we don't have an idle animation, so... boop. Don't do that. Just pass. Just don't do anything. Fixed update, velocity x equals 0. That doesn't exist, so it doesn't matter. So I can just do this, do that. Yeah. Again, a lot of this is just copying stuff I've already done. I can explain what it does real quick, just so we have a little bit to talk about this. What this state... first of all, how the state machine works is... whenever I enter a state, the state machine calls the enter function of that state. That's simple. Fixed update is called every frame. We just... doing the physics processing step of the engine specifically, but that's implementation detail in particular. It's just when physics are running, this function is running. So each frame we set the velocity of the player to 0, because when they're idle they shouldn't be moving. That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, Casey. That's... but yeah, if the input is either left or right, and not both, specifically, then we exit into another state, which is handled by the state machine. But we just call the exit function and exit into the next state, which in this case is walk. If we are not on the floor, we are exiting into the fall, unless... I have a specific timer called the Coyote timer, which is basically just checking how long have we been not on the ground. So how long have we been falling? That basically just allows us to input a jump input for a little bit before we fall, because we don't actually enter the falling state yet. It's just leniency. I get what you mean. Yes, it looks it looks kind of funny actually. But yeah, what this basically just does is if the coyote timer runs out, then we actually start falling and can't jump anymore. Alright, enjoy your luck. Uh, hope you and your boss figure out what you need to do because, um, oops. And yeah, if you press jump, you just jump. Um, yeah. It does what it says on the tin. Let me actually do a idle animation. New track, idle. New track, property track, sprite 2D. This is basically just we're changing a property during the animation. In this case, the frame. Now this sprite only has one frame, so this doesn't actually matter, but the value is 0. The animation is doing nothing, but technically, you know. And the animation should be looping, not that it matters, because again, it's just one frame, but in theory, the idle animation should be looping. Press the jump button to yeah, literally. But someone needs to implement that you jump when you press the jump button, right? And it's very simple. It's literally just yeah, you jump. Speaking of, let's implement the jump state, shall we? um, actually, let me first implement some other things. The state machine needs 3 different things: an animation player, an entity, and a starting state, which is idle. Huh. Hex go, bro. Where is that actually from? Just out of curiosity. State machine. Add child node. Another state. Let's go with walk for now. Add, attach script. States, walk, inherits, state. Yeah, I know. Again, I can just copy my walk, because those are basic states that any project should have. I just need to remove some of the specific solutions I have only for the for the secret project I can't show. My voice is kind of rough right now. Anyways. Walk. I don't need this because we don't have stairs, and if we had stairs I wouldn't implement them this way. That implementation solution for stairs for that project is very specific. Well, it would be very specific if I implemented it, but other problem. Again, it has a coyote timer for falling. If your velocity is 0, it exits to idle because, well, you don't have anything to do. Um, if you're moving in a, like if you're holding your stick in a direction, the velocity is increasing in that direction, and if you're not, it gets closer to 0, which makes sense. Um, Again, Coyote timer for falling. Um, why am I changing the velocity of the player? What am I doing here? Why am I doing this? Later problems. It, that's a legit term in game development, Coyote time. And yes, it's named after what you think it's named after. I mean, I could. It's just not on my priority and not on this project because this is just a template. I'll figure out later what that's for. For now, I commented out because that seems wrong. That seems like a solution I've specifically for that project. I mean, what does it do? It increases the gravity by twice. Why am I doing that? Later problem. Like, it doubles the... But yeah, it's relatively simple. I do need to make a walk animation. Which is gonna shock you. It's gonna be the greatest walk animation to ever walk. That's it. That's the walk animation. So much walking. Jumpu. Next we need a jump state. Add child node. Node. Jump. Attach script. Jump. Extend state. Yeah. The usual. Again, I'm just copying. I'm copying my own homework right now. Just again, this is mainly just so I have a template, right? The idea is that I can just copy this project and have a basis to work with for any 2D platformer. Because this is at a point where I'm really happy with it, right? Like, there are maybe some small tweaks here and there, but overall I'm very happy with how this is working in principle. Not yet. But if you want, I can Google a coconut PNG and add it to the project. Oh god. What we are doing here is just when you enter the jump state, we one time set the velocity, like vertical velocity of the player to the jump velocity. And then that's it. We don't do anything else. Like, it sounds silly, but it's literally just that's the only time we need to set a velocity for the player, because doing the jump, because it's just we launch them and then they are just coming down eventually. They all come down eventually. And that's a jump state. Either you eventually fall because you don't have any vertical velocity anymore, or you land. In which case, good for you. It's really not that sophisticated. It's literally just like we have some basic movement code here, so the player can still control themselves in the air, but that's about it. I mean, I do have actually ways to prevent that from happening, Hexen. Funnily enough. Um, Let me actually, for testing purposes, test it. Actually, later. I just remembered what a pain it is to set up a tileset. So later problems. But I have theoretically an entity, a variable called gravlock, which means gravity lock. All it does is basically, if you have gravlock, you don't gravity. That's it. If you have gravlock, you're not moving up or down. Like, you're not falling. It is really that simple. I just check is gravlock, and if not, then don't do any of this. But yeah. If, for example, I could do something very funny here and just gravlock, like entity.gravlock equals true, and then they'll never come down because their jump velocity will never change, because gravity no longer exists. But we're not doing that for obvious reasons. It has some consequences. Let's say it this way. But I do actually have some enemies in the secret project that make use of that gravlock variable to not fall. They are basically moving in a sine wave motion, like the Medusa heads in Castlevania. So they are just moving in a wave motion, never falling because they are floating. And for that, gravlock is perfect, because I'm just telling them, yeah, you're floating forever. Yeah. Land. We should land at some point, because what comes up must indeed go down. Yet my feet don't touch the ground. See the world spinning upside down. I might crash without a sound. That's actually a funny idea. Like, unironically, I could do something with that. I'm getting called. Hang on. Okay. My grandma just called me. I picked up the phone and she just ended the call. Did I just get phone pranked by my grandma? No, she probably just accidentally called me. Um, if she's calling me again, we can still. Anyways, I didn't want to make a land animation. I mean, I also need to do a land animation, so it's not like it matters, but um, I wanted to do a jump animation. Um, not 3D position track, property track. Sprite 2D, frame. You will never believe how this jump animation looks. It's the best jump animation ever. Yeah, I probably should. But we're going to have a break soon anyway, so I'll call her when that's happening. But I'm pretty sure she should be fine. Like, we were at her place not even 2 hours ago, so. That does actually sound fun. But yeah, I'll call her again when the ad break is starting. Um, just to make sure. She also knows she can call my sister, so it's definitely fine. Like, new. Yeah, it does sound fun. Like, I mean, I've been working on Speed Booster before canning the project for the time being. I do actually want to get back to Speed Booster. It's not completely like I'm not abandoning the project. In fact, this is part of my plan to get back to doing Speed Booster. Because basically this is a more clean version of what I've been doing in Speed Booster anyway, so. And Speed Booster is very broken by now. Like, the project is so screwed and I don't know what happened. So I'm probably going to use this as a template to rework Speed Booster. I don't have a landing sound effect, so we don't need this right now. But otherwise this is basically just, it plays the animation for landing, it exits into left or right, like into walking if you walk, and if you're not on the floor you can fall. And if the animation is finished, you just exit into idle. The idea behind that specifically is that you can theoretically exit into walking, like you can walk out of the landing animation if you want to, but if you don't, it just plays the animation and then goes into idle. Yeah, that should be the basic states, unless I forgot something, which is not. I forgot falling. Falling would help, yes. New animation. Fall. Um, you'll never guess what that animation will look like. Again, this is just a placeholder, so it doesn't need to look fancy. Um, yeah. And then when we're done with this, I'm going to take a quick break and just check in that everything is okay with my grandma, and though again, I'm pretty sure it's fine. And yeah. That sounds like a plan. Yes, yes. You. Uh. Um. I don't think I need this. Yeah. I don't need this. Because that was just because the animation of the game. Uh. The game had different animations depending on if you jumped or didn't before falling. Or rather, just use the jump animation if you're falling after jumping. But this is for more complex games, so ironically, I don't need that line. Uh, yeah. This is again just basic. The player can move while they're falling, not as much as they could if they were jumping, but they still can move a little bit. And then they just exit into landing when they're done, like once they're on the floor. And they can't really exit into anything else because they are just falling. That's kind of the idea. Unless I have a more complex movement system, that's all fall needs to do. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'll take a quick break and then we can see what we do next. Um, Okay, I'm back. Uh, I mean, if I would want to get high with anyone, it would definitely be French. Um, so now, mind you, I don't know if I would get high with anyone, but if it's anyone, then it's French. um, but yeah, I'm very much in the same boat as Zen, and that I'm not really like. It's. I don't know. It's not really my thing. I don't have anything against anyone who does it, obviously, but it just. It doesn't feel like something I would enjoy, but you know. Also, not judging anyone who does enjoy it because, like, at the end, it, as long as you're doing it safe and like legally, obviously, I don't really, I don't really care. Like, it's none of my business. Invalid access or key of. Oh, I haven't set the player of the player camera. Right. There we go. Let's try this again. Yeah, exactly. Player. Where is the player? did I not set a neighbor? Why are you not? Oh, right. Later problem. Yeah. I'm so glad to know a lot of people here, honestly. Like Twitch definitely like changed my perspective on a lot of things. I don't know. I don't know what's broken. Later problems. Because, like, in theory, this should just work, but for some reason it doesn't find the... Where is the camera compared to the player? Here. It's just around the player. Which is where it should be. So... Yeah, it is... It is just wild to me, right? What if I remove this? Does it still work? Oh, of course it's not working. Duh. Um, viewport height. Let's try this. That way it can never go outside the viewport. Which means in theory you should see the player, in theory. Practice, Godot just hates me. Later problem. Yeah, that is... To be fair, for a long time, Silic didn't really talk about... Not that she, like, didn't like people knowing that we're related, it's just... She very much wanted to have her own space, like, on Twitch. Like, especially in Club 601. There was a long time where I wasn't in Club 601 just because it was Silic's safe space and I didn't want to intrude on that, right? And she didn't want me to intrude on that. And like, now that she's out and everything, it's less dramatic. Like, a lot of it was for her just having a safe space where she could just explore her identity, right? Why are you not working? Later problems. I'm way too chill about solving these problems because later problems should not be my response, but oh well. Running wild, living fast, free. Yeah. Like, it was... for me, it was a bit, you know, weird, because at the time I obviously didn't know what was going on. But now that I know it, obviously, like, I understand it. Like... It was just a bit of a shame, because I do like Club 601. Like, it's a fun community, but... Obviously, I also don't want to, like... Didn't want to intrude on her space. Okay, anything else I need to add? The world is flying right below my feet. Got no regrets inside of me. I should probably have a hurt state, but also... I don't know. Hard states are way more specific to the game, I feel like. Like, depending on how the player reacts to being hit, it's a very different thing. Do I have hazard? You know what, let's just make a test level. Test. Do I have a level script? I don't know. The last project I was working on didn't actually have levels in that sense, like the secret project. Yeah, agreed. Like, it just... Things got so much easier for her over the time. And, like, it's still not easy, but, like, you know. Our IRL friends are very supportive. Our family is also mostly... I mean, yeah. I would say they're supportive. It's not always easy with our family, but it is not like they're not unsupportive. I like. Yeah. I mean, also just one of my favorite music tracks in general, but you know. I love Sonic Colors. It's just a fun game. Child node, tile set, tile map. Is deprecated. Tile map layer. It's both terrifying and amazing. I should. Just an OTD. New tile. How do I make a new tile again? I haven't worked with tile maps in ages. I need to add a new tile set. New tile. Atlas. You know what? Sure. Um. Calculator. I need to calculate again. 128 by 3. Okay, now. Let me load. Why are you doing it this way? I'm telling you the tiles 42 by 42. New tile. New tile. Perfect. Isn't this the most perfect tile set you've ever seen? Paint, select property, physics. I need a physics layer. I haven't done physics layers yet. Hang on. Project settings. Physics. 2D. Physics layer. I am not going to UKSG. I don't have the money, unfortunately. Or time, for that matter. Or rather, maybe I have the time, but I don't know. Either way, I don't have the money. I probably would have, but I don't. It's a lot of money to spend for me right now compared to, uh, and compared to Silic, I don't know as many people in at UKSG, so for me currently it's just not. Yeah, for me currently it's just not worth the investment. I do want to do it at some point, but probably not this UKSG. And who knows? Yeah, let's go with just 3 for now. 4 for now. I can still player, enemies, objects, terrain. Sure, let's go with those. So physics layers. You are collision mask enemies objects, and you are collision layer 4 terrain. Collision layer means which collision layer the actual like the actual object is on, and collision mask is which things can collide with it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know at the top of my head how expensive it is. I don't have a incomes like fixed income source right now, and unlike Silic, I haven't like made some money with a project, right? Because like the thing with Nico that Silic made did gave like her some funds which she could use to go to UKSG, and I just don't have that. And it's again, it's fine. I'm not as invested to go to UKSG yet. Eventually, but not yet. And yeah, that just means we can just watch Selects run. We might even set up a watch party in the void, honestly. That sounds like a fun thing to do. Yeah. Anyways. A beautiful tile set, don't you think? That just... -10, then this needs to be 10. This honestly works better as a tile set than I expected it to. It's only mildly cursed. And for now I'll just make that a child of instantiate child no child scene test level. And that sure won't cause any issues whatsoever. That's completely... No, this is perfect. And now we can maybe see the... God damn it. Why? 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 Why are you not working? There's no other camera here. So... what have I forgotten? Do you at least work? No. Why? You do have a camera. You know that? Nice. So... why are you not working? Why? Let me check in the other project really quick. Because I'm stupid. I have stupid. The player is not colliding. Okay, that didn't solve it. Why are you not? But I didn't. Why are you not doing what you're supposed to be doing? This is not even a complicated thing. That should just work. Unless somehow changing the type of it to a... Okay, I do need to connect the signal, but I don't think that's the problem. Which, by the way, this is exactly why I'm doing this. So I don't need to set everything up every time. What if I change your type back to just camera 2D and reattach the script? Uta player camera. What if you're just a player camera? But like What if you're not a player camera? What if you're just a camera but not a player camera? Would have the script of a... No. I am going to scream. Remote tree. Does the player even have a player? Yep. It sure has a player camera, and it is an... Where the heck are you? Where are you? Why are you at -1? Why the What the heck is the player? What? Qua? The, 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 the fuck? I... I'm sorry, what? Why hydrate? Why so my grandma was okay. Literally it was just she misdialed, like she selected the wrong contact on her phone. She wanted to call my mom, but accidentally got me instead. And her hands are jittery, so it took a while for her to like end the call because she couldn't figure. Well, she could figure it out, but the phone refused because she was jittery. Anyways, yeah, she's fine. She just needed something from my mom. Thanks for the stretch, by the way. Thanks for the hydrate. And why so serious? Because this shit not working. Something is wrong, and I mean, I know why it's not working, because the camera is in literal hell. I just don't understand why it's in literal hell. Why is the position negative, first of all? But not in white, no. In grey, actually. If you really want to see. Why does it not capture the... Because I'm stupid. I do have a button for this. This is where the camera is. I mean, to be fair, you haven't missed much, because this is what we've been seeing for the last... who knows how long. Actually, it might be in heaven. Because minus is up in computer graphics. For reasons. So why is... Why are you going up, first of all? Mathematically, you should be going down, because we want your target position is the player velocity, which should be negative if any, not negative, positive if anything, because the player is falling. If they're moving at all. If they're... What happens if I... can I just... Quoi? What? Where is this set? And especially it immediately went to that value. It didn't like lerp to the value, it just became -1. -10 million. I think. Yes. -10 million. Why did it just suddenly become -10 million? Do me a do Do me a favor, Godot. What is target Y? Can you print that for me real quick? I just want to know. I just need to know. That doesn't help us at all. That doesn't answer the question why it isn't heck. Where am I set? I mean, I'm not building the physics engine. That's part of the issue. What? Why? 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 Is the camera working here? This project. Yes. You can't see it, but it is working. Why? Never caught. Why? 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 I mean, not really. I'm not. The, the physics are already implemented. Mostly. Like, I'm doing something completely different here, which is trying to figure out what the camera is doing. Which... Let me just put a breakpoint here, a breakpoint here, a breakpoint here. One of these is going to get hit. Okay. That's fine. So... Target Y is 21.778, that's fine. Lab position is 1.815, that's fine. Self... your position currently is 0, still. I don't know what the camera is doing. The camera should be moving at a... Okay, what the camera is doing. Or what the camera should be doing is move a certain amount ahead of the player. The idea behind that is that if you're moving left or right, you can see more of the screen in the direction you're going, right? And theoretically it does the same when you're going up and down. Problem, the player isn't going up or down. So the camera should be where the player is. But it isn't. Which evidently is wrong. Actually, let me figure out something first. Before we do the breakpoints. Way more important question. Where's the player? Is the player also going... Nah, the player's fine. So it's just the camera going places where it should not be. Why? What are your limits? That should be fine. So... Hexen, I'm going to ban you. No, the issue is I don't know where the... I don't even know how the issue could possibly happen. This is not a small math error that could have happened anywhere. Yes, French, and in theory this camera fixes it. And in fact, in the other project it's working. So... why isn't it working? What have I changed? Player... I haven't changed the zoom, I haven't changed the drag, I have drawn limits and stuff, but that shouldn't change anything. It does have the script. That shouldn't change anything, so this should still be working in the other project. It is still working in the other project. Why is it not working here? What have I done? You know what? Fresh start, we're just copying the camera script again. This shouldn't change anything, but... and it didn't change anything. Also fair. Why? Why? Have I done something with the view? You know what? We're deleting you. And adding you back in. Maybe that will fix it. No. I didn't think it would, but... why are you not working? Because here's the thing, right? We see nothing. Which makes sense, because, as established, the camera is in superhack. If we look at a remote tree here, the camera is at 10,112 pixels, which isn't even close. Yes, it's definitely French. But we know it's fine with the script. Like, the script is working. So why is it not working? You know what your player camera is? I'm not... See, here's the thing. I don't know where it could possibly happen. Because, assuming lerped position is correct, which we have checked it is, or well, close to correct, close enough. Um, it's 21. It's not 10,000. 10 million even. Why does it? I can't move it to a different line. That's not how that works. The issue is that I don't even know when it becomes 10,112. Why am I not getting it? I need to put a breakpoint in. Okay. So, the important part is member self. What we want to know is, when does 0.0 pixel here in position Y, when does that become 10,112? Because it wasn't a lerp, right? It didn't move to that number. It just immediately became that number. So why? Step into. Target Y is 221.778. That's still correct. I'm going to check on the remote tree, since that's easier. It's still 0. This is very manual debugging, but I literally have no other idea how to check this. This is literally just going through every single step until it's wrong. Step into. Still correct. Still correct. Still correct. The player is not on the wall. Hexen, that's not what's happening here. It's not even. I know how I could clamp it in theory. The issue is that it shouldn't even do this to begin with. The issue is it physically shouldn't be able to do this because there's no code telling it to do that. It cannot move past the player. I know, but that doesn't help me because that's not the problem. The problem isn't that it goes into a too high position, because in theory, if that was where the player is, that wouldn't be the problem. The problem is that the distance between the player and the camera is way too big, which no part of the script should allow to happen. That's the issue. Clamping doesn't help me if I don't know why it's becoming that number in the first place. That's just fixing the symptom, not the problem. Are you still 0? You are still 0. Can basically skip all the position X parts. I'm still going to do it because position Y. It's still 0.0x, and now it's still 0 pixel. It should be 0. It should stay 0. And it is indeed 0. Now we clamp it to the limits. Which is in fact what I'm doing, by the way. I am already clamping it. Step into. And now it's... So it does in fact go wrong when I'm clamping it. Why? What? That doesn't make any sense. What is limit top and limit bottom? Limit top is minus 10 million. Then we shouldn't be able to reach 10,000,093 in the first place. So... I don't know, it's just, it doesn't really help me, because it needs to be a child of the player, not the other way around. The problem is the specific implementation of my camera is very different than a regular camera. And I know where it's happening now. It's happening here. I just don't know why it's happening, because I think I know why. Because I'm stupid. Yeah, that should fix it. The issue is limit top is negative and limit bottom is positive, and I switched the two around. So now if I do this, which of course I didn't notice in the other project because the other project had way smaller limits, so it didn't affect me. I can remove me now. There we go. That was it. That was it. Like, the issue, Hexen, is I was already so many steps ahead of that. What you were trying to tell me. My camera is way more complex than a basic camera. So trying to explain the basic things of it is not very helpful for me, unfortunately. But now the camera is working. I mean, it's looking kind of jank or whatever, but like, that's fine. So, um, and now in theory, the important thing is I need to fix it later, but I can do that. Why are there two versions of this? Oh, because I need to hide this. Um, but yeah, that's working now. Ads are about to start, so I'm going to take a quick break. Um, yeah. I'd actually say that that camera is actually one of the things I'm the most proud of, like, ever. Like, to get it to the point where it is now, I am genuinely so happy with it. Like, you see how much this sprite is pixelated because it's... Wait, you can't see it because I don't capture it. Let me change it. You see how pixelated the sprite is now because, like, I'm using a pixel perfect camera, meaning every pixel is one pixel, right? Like, there are no subpixels or anything. Everything is one pixel. And the issue with that is usually that you can't have such a smooth camera like this. And, like, there was a video that theoretically had a solution, but Z posted it ages ago in the Game Dev channel, but it was very specific to the project they had. Yeah, like, I have in general gotten so much better at, like, debugging this sort of stuff. And a lot of that came from Silic teaching me a lot of stuff and, like, me learning it over and over again. Like, I needed to learn debugging over and over again until I'm finally at the point where I can do this, right? But it does pay off. Like, again, this camera, the video Z sent only worked for their specific project, and this camera, the way I set it up now, should work for any project. So it's literally just so much more useful. And it genuinely works. It's smooth, it does what it's supposed to do. There's still some small things I would like to tweak, but, like, it works. Literally the only thing is that I didn't test it for vertical stuff yet. And that's literally just this one line, figuring out which one was broken. Yeah, I didn't take it as an insult at all. Like, it was a bit annoying because, like, it didn't help, but, like, I get that you just wanted to help, right? I'm not taking any offense by it. It just it didn't help me at that point. But yeah, this camera is working. It's genuinely smooth and everything. Oh, I wanted to show you what happens if I were to do in jump. If I graph lock the player. Jump. If I were to say entity dot graph lock dot equals true, I get it. You weren't trying to. It was just, it was kind of frustrating because it didn't help, and but I do appreciate you trying to help. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just. But yeah, if I turn gravlock in the entity, if I turn gravlock off when the player jumps, then whee, and we're never coming down again. I don't know. I just find it funny. Yeah. Well, I wanted to remove this code because that's not what we want. Okay. Player works now. And the player camera actually works now, which is good. Because I didn't actually test it. I'm actually doing a second thing, which is put down a platform here, just to make sure that that's working. Oops. I find it funny how everything in this project is just the Godot logo. Um, as it should be. But yeah, I just want to see how the camera behaves when falling. It should be behaving fine now, but, you know. As I said, I haven't tested this as much for verticality, but it should work fine. Because it mostly uses the same principles, just slightly different variables. But yeah, it looks good. I mean, funny you should say that, Hex. As mentioned, I have a secret project. um. Do 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 do. That's all I'm saying. I won't say more without that. Actually, you know what? Let's just make this platform a bit smaller. Just so the player can get up. Well, the player. There won't be a player. This is literally just a test. But, you know. And then, yeah. That should hopefully work. Wrong scene. On second thought, I don't think I can make that. Oops. I kind of overestimated how far the player can jump. I'm not even sure if the player can make this jump, to be honest. But we'll see. If I go to the right scene. This player is pathetic. You know what? You're getting upgrades. Wrong scene. That's another thing I need to fix. Okay, now we can make it. Isn't that one of the games in UFO 50? I forgot what it's called, but I'm pretty sure there was a game like that. But yeah, that camera is looking good. might still do some tweaks when moving vertically, but because currently it's actually surprisingly stable when you're falling, which is actually kind of bad. I want the camera to be higher when you're falling. Or lower, rather. But that's a thing I can tweak later. In fact, let me just see what happens if I remove this. It was a very fun game, yeah. The camera is surprisingly stable when falling, that's a later problem. But yeah, I'm happy with this. I mean, it's a very shallow, you know, test level, but like, that's all it needs to be. This is not like a huge, sophisticated project. This is just... I mean... That is Lemmings, yes, actually. Which, I mean, Fringe Lemmings sounds fun. I just realized you couldn't see what I'm doing, which, I mean, it's fine. It's not like I did anything too sophisticated, but... let me just capture that really quick, so you can see it. It's... I mean, it's nothing overwhelming or anything, but... It works, the camera is working and everything. And I have a working platforming character. I agree. It's definitely a bit odd. I also feel like I might want to have the camera snap back faster than it goes forward. But that's just me. But yeah, you're definitely... Once you're falling, you don't have a lot of... I do not know how to begin to process this question. But that does sound horrible, yes. You're probably correct, actually. But yeah, I'm happy with this. Um, Again, not the most sophisticated template, but I do get what you mean with the loss of velocity. I think it's not as bad in the other project because it's a more slow, methodical platformer, but so you don't fall that much. Or you do fall a lot, but it's like I don't know, it just feels different. And to be fair, I think part of that is also just that there's not a lot here to like focus your eye on. So the snapping of the like the moving of the camera feels a lot more noticeable while falling. But yeah, that might be something I tweak still. To be fair, can also be a thing depending on project. So I just like it as an option because I like jumps to be a bit more committed, so falling. So once you fall, you can't pull back as much, but I'll have to see about it. Um, I might also just make it slightly faster, but still slower than jumping. But that's not the point here. Um, I might also tweak the gravity later because gravity in Godot is funny. Um, so yeah, I'm happy with this. I think this is good for today. Again, the plan was mainly just to port over stuff. Uh, I guess that was the plan. I didn't really have a plan. But yeah, I kind of had hoped we Z would show up so I can talk about the camera thing because it is actually something that I find interesting. But oh well, there will be more opportunities. But it is genuinely something that I find interesting. Just the way 3D games use cameras. Um, I'm thinking if I still want to do something or if we're going to call it here because it is getting late. But I also haven't streamed for that long. Exactly. Sometimes they even have an underpaid lucky to following you. But that's a different issue. Oh god. I did want to rework metadata tile map layer, but I don't actually have that many interesting things. Like, I don't know how to solve that issue yet with metadata tile map layer, so I don't know how to do that. Also, if I say metadata tile map layer one more time, I'm going to lose it. I'm checking if there's something else I want to or should take care of before I call it. So rendering 2D, rendering no, display. Where is it? Display window, yeah, that's correct. That is, I think, correct. I'm just checking my commit to, like, my last few commits to my project to see if there are any things that I can remove / don't need anymore. But it does seem to be mostly up to date. I could believe that. But I think that should all be correct now. The last thing I did was make gravity global and I guess add more inputs, but inputs are anyway a bit different. I mean, I can check in the project settings. Input map, that seems correct, that seems correct. Yeah, seems all correct. But yeah, I'm mainly just... Once this is done, I want to restart working on Speed Booster. And I don't know if I'm going to do that on stream or not, because like Speed Booster is a project I've been streaming a lot. So it is something I kind of want to get back to, but also it will be a lot of just redoing what I've already done. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll anyways have to clean up some more stuff here, but like the metadata tile map layer, needs to be cleaned up a little bit more. I need to add some sprites for the tile maps. Probably get a proper tile map set up and like proper character instead of just the Godot logo over and over again. As funny as that is, mind you. And again, just figure out more with the verticality of the camera and if there's something broken still. / I want to change something. For example, I had originally an offset so the camera is closer to the, like above the player a little bit, so that the player is closer to the bottom of the screen, meaning you have more screen space where you can see stuff. But I have to figure that out. Yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say to that. There's also stuff like hazards, which I've implemented in the other project, which I should probably re-implement. In fact, let me get the script in at least. In objects, tiles, create new script, hazard, extends node 2D in objects slash tiles. So that should be correct. I probably also have to document some stuff, but then... What the heck is that? That's amazing. I forgot I had the speed lines. That's amazing. I love that. But yeah, let's... I guess let's find someone to raid. I think I'm done for today. Anyone of the Leaf Gang live? No? Let's write a friend. Although... I don't know, it's... I guess we can raid Chamber. I haven't raided him in a while, so I guess, yeah, raid Chamber. He's currently doing a subathon. And I guess doing crosswords. So, yeah, sounds like a plan. I'll be back maybe Friday. I have therapy on Friday, so I'll have to see how alive I am at the end of that. If not, then we'll see. I also want to do some random stuff soon again. We should discuss. But yeah, I'll be back, I guess, whenever I will be.